From Fox 15, News 15 Today starts now.
Good morning and welcome back. You are watching News 15 Today. I'm Alex Worstel.
And I'm Carter Simonelli. Thanks for tuning in this morning.
Well, breaking news this morning. Traffic has been backed up on I-10 westbound from an early morning incident with a jackknife 18-wheeler.
Yeah, here's a live look at the scene. One lane appears to be open. Traffic is still being diverted at the Lobdell exit. It's being recommended to use Highway 190 as an alternate route to avoid this mess.
Stay tuned to News 15 for more information on when the interstate could reopen.
And just in, deputies in St. Mary Parish reporting streets flooded in the Bayou Vista area. Drivers
are asked to slow down since water is being pushed closer to houses by cars driving too fast. Now, to avoid this, deputies are putting up barricades in some areas, and drivers should not drive around the barricades.
We'll keep you updated on weather conditions as we receive more information.
Speaking of weather, let's check in now with Storm Track 15 meteorologist Adam Olivier.
Yeah, Adam, it's been a stormy morning in parts of Acadiana, and you can see how wet I-10 is right there.
Yeah, and you know, Carter and Alex, I was just looking at that. It looks like the 18-wheeler has actually been moved, and they may be about to reopen both lanes there. So we'll get you that information as soon as we receive it here. But it has been a wet morning. I'm going to show you in a few minutes how much rain some places have picked up from this morning's rains. We're still tracking some heavier rain falling in parts of the area. Now, you heard about Morgan City, a Bayou Vista area. That's where we're seeing some flooding going on. Well, you're still seeing some of that heavy rain. There's more developing out to the west here. That snuck up into New Iberia. It may continue moving west over to Lafayette, so we may not be done with this rain yet. Baton Rouge and all getting doused with those showers and storms. Some light rain in Lafayette right now. Heavier stuff out into northern St. Landry Parish near Palmetto and Melville. It's trying to build back towards Ville Platte and Opelousas, so we're going to keep an eye on that. Mainly showers for now, but thunderstorms become more likely towards lunchtime, and we are still not done with the rain. More of these rainy days to track in your forecast coming up.
Thanks, Adam. We'll check back shortly. The Louisiana Association of Business and Industry is calling on Governor John Bel Edwards to consider repealing the $300 in additional benefits going to those unemployed in the state. Business organizations arguing that the increase is making it harder for employees to hire workers, saying that the governor should join Republican-led states in cutting off the extra money. Here's what he had to say.
What I want to do is make sure that it would be right for Louisiana, and I don't want to rush into this, because what I can tell you is none of the states that have done it already are as dependent upon tourism to sustain their economy as we are, and we know that tourism hasn't come back to pre-pandemic levels or anywhere close to it.
The $300 increase goes through September 6th. Some Republican lawmakers are proposing a one-time payment of up to $1,000 to go back to work, but only if they give up their right to claim unemployment benefits for 6 months.
2 Lafayette police officers have been given the okay to appeal their suspension and termination by the Municipal Fire and Police Civil Service Board. The board met yesterday and considered the cases of Alex Ritter and Jonathan Rabb. Ritter is appealing his termination in connection with the New Year's Eve incident involving a suspect. Rabb was suspended after allegedly kneeling on the neck of a suspect during an arrest in May of 2019. A third officer who was fired elected to drop his appeal. That officer, Jeremy Robert, was canned after body cam footage showed him pulling a hog-tied female suspect out of a police vehicle and onto the pavement.
Well, salvage crews have completed the removal of diesel fuel from Secor Power's fuel tanks. Crews removed over 20,000 gallons of diesel fuel from the Secor Power. About 4,500 gallons of hydraulic fluid remain, but the hydraulic fluid will be removed after the vessel is raised. Salvage crews will now move on to the salvage phase, focusing on removing debris and refloating the vessel.
If you've been in an airport over the past few months, you may have noticed a few signs titled Real ID. This change will only impact domestic travel in the United States. So what exactly is Real ID? Dane Huval is the owner of Southwest Safety Training and says Real ID was created as a result of 9/11.
Real ID is about identifying yourself to the federal government for the planes. It's a post 9/11 law that came into effect.
Starting May 3rd of 2023, the Real ID Act is set to take full effect. For more information on this story, you can head on over to our website at kadn.com. The CDC's latest guidelines for face coverings is causing confusion and commotion across the country.
This is true. One thing is certain: in a handful of states, masks can't be mandated inside public schools. Fox News correspondent Anita Vogel has more.
Ever since the CDC announced no more masks for the fully vaccinated, it seems some states are playing by their own rules. California, for instance, is enforcing people still wear face coverings until the middle of next month. But other states are on the offensive, especially when it comes to mask mandates in state-run facilities like public schools.
Now, there's no reason for it, really.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott issuing an executive order Tuesday preventing public schools from forcing anyone, including students, to wear masks. And breaking this order comes with a fine of up to $1,000. Utah's legislature also following suit, passing a bill Wednesday striking down mask policies in state schools.
If you do not put your mask on, we cannot proceed with this meeting and you will be asked to leave by security.
Meanwhile, school district officials in Scottsdale, Arizona stopped a public meeting after several parents in attendance refused to wear masks indoors. Arizona has no mandatory mask policies, but school board members pushed their own rules.
And it is the rule of Scottsdale Unified School District that all people present on our campuses must wear masks.
When all is said and done, the CDC is still instructing schools across the country to continue using masks for the remainder of the 2021 school year. Anita Vogel, Fox News.
Well, a new CDC report shows that cases of hepatitis C and hepatitis A continue to rise in the United States.
At the same time, the level of hepatitis B infections remains relatively stable. The report was posted online yesterday.
It's based on viral hepatitis surveillance data from 2019. There were a total of 4,136 cases of acute hepatitis C reported to the CDC in 2019.
The data suggests the rate of hepatitis C infections in 2019 marked a 63% increase from the rate reported during 2015. Over the last decade, the most rapid increase in the incidence of hepatitis C cases has been among young adults who have injected drugs.
According to the report, hepatitis A surged 1,325% from 2015 through 2019.
Google is using its artificial intelligence tech to help you with skin problems.
That's right. According to Google, it gets roughly 10 billion searches for skin, hair, or nail problems each year.
The tool uses your phone camera to take a picture of the problem area, then looks up what it could be. Google says the feature already recognizes 288 skin conditions, but shouldn't be used as a substitute for medical treatment.
The app is still pending the green light from the Food and Drug Administration.
It's swarm season in Colorado. Experts say the best advice is to be smart. Large groups of bees are popping up in backyards in Colorado. For no charge at all, beekeepers will come to Colorado residents' homes, remove the bees, and bring them to a safe space. One dispatcher for the swarm hotline says he's seen it all and recommends that you not try to handle it by yourself.
You don't want them diving into the house or under a shed or anything like that. Don't go spray it and kill it. I've seen people put plastic garbage bags on the swarm and things. Get a beekeeper out there, help your environment, help give these girls a good new home. You know, it's just good to do.
The process involves using a box with honey and beeswax to get the queen bee into. Once it's in there, the rest of the swarm typically follows quickly behind.
Continue to track showers and thunderstorms across the area and that heavy rain threat too. Details just ahead.
And Goodwill Acadiana will host a hiring event for several retail positions. Al Aver is live from Goodwill in Karen Crow to tell us all about it next.
So, Joel, what do you want to chat about?
I'm going to just thank the donors of generosity and say it's a good place to shop, a good place to donate, and a good place to work, and then let her close with hiring event.
Okay.
How's that?
Sounds perfect. So we'll do the same thing now. You first, then you second.
Right.
Watch this.
Good closer. Absolutely.
Just Google the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
$15 seconds.
Welcome back. Taking a look at some of our consumer news and talking to Al Hebert. You can find some amazing deals and clothes and household items at Goodwill.
We're checking in with Al Hebert for the last time this morning. He is in Karen Crow at the Goodwill out there to tell us everything we need to know about this hiring event. Al, what do you have?
Hey, Carter. Hey, Alex. We've had a really cool morning out here at Goodwill. I love Goodwill. I love to shop Goodwill, and I know Kadiana really supports Goodwill, Joel, and I know that must make you happy.
Absolutely. Thank you, Acadiana, for your support of Goodwill. Through the generosity of our customers and our donors, we're able to provide our neighbors with a hand up through the many services that we perform here in Acadiana. Last year alone, we helped over 8,000 people right here in Acadiana. So Goodwill's a great place to shop, a great place to donate, and a great place to work.
Hey, I have to say, I was amazed at the sheer volume of stuff back there that your people have to sort through every single day, which is says a lot for their productivity, but also says a lot for great things to buy here. Hope, big hiring event coming up. Tell us about that one more time.
Yes, we have about a little over 20 people that we would like to hire. The hiring event is going to be on Monday, May 24th, from 9 to 12. You could pre-apply. That would probably be best, but if you walk in, you will be guaranteed an interview.
Now, when you say walk into one of the stores, walk into your corporate location, where should people go?
They're going to have to go to our corporate office, which is 2435 West Congress Street in Lafayette.
And once again, we covered it earlier, but let's remind people, what do they need to bring? Resume, anything like that?
They can bring a resume. We have applications that they could manually fill out, or they could go online at www.goodwillacadiana.org/employment.
And also, just kind of give us a thumbnail sketch of the kind of positions you guys are hiring for.
We have full-time and part-time positions available, and it's for the retail production associates.
Okay, retail production, would that be like where we were in the back?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, sorting through that stuff. Again, that would be a fun job. Hey, we're going to go back to you in the studio. More News 15 today because Carter and Alex make TV a fun job.
You're darn right we do.
And so do you, Al. We thank you so very much for highlighting that job fair, and we will be checking in with you tomorrow.
Yeah, for Friday Feed. Moving on, the Lafayette Parish School Board held a meeting to vote on moving forward with construction to rebuild 3 schools in the district.
News 15's Gabrielle Riles has more on the meeting.
This school is very, very important to the community, has been for many, many years. It serves the entire parish.
Lafayette High School was built in 1952.
It hasn't changed much. I mean, if anything, it's gotten worse. I mean, I feel like when I was a student here in the mid-1980s, you know, the facility is what it was then.
Kathleen Espinoza is an alumni, parent, and member of the Rebuild Lafayette High Facebook group. She says over the years, her kids have complained about the school not being up to par.
My kids have told me where they've come in to the auditorium and, you know, there's 2 inches of water on the ground. And so they can't have class in there. They can't have band class in there.
Espinoza says that the school doesn't need renovations. It needs to be completely rebuilt, and a District 6 school board representative agrees.
It is nearly 70 years old now. It is certainly long in the tooth and showing the wear and tear associated with 70 years of of one of the largest high schools in the States.
School board member Justin Santani says the expected cost to rebuild all 3 schools will be $150 million. That amount will be funded by money saved over the years.
Anytime we have increases in tax revenue that were unbudgeted, we have put that revenue aside and let it build up over the last 4 to 5 years.
In Lafayette, Gabrielle Rios, News 15.
Well, storms look to stick around in the forecast. Storm Track 15 meteorologist Adam Olivier tracking how long they last. Coming up, you'll want to stay with us. It is 8:46 on your Thursday morning. Oh, recently?
Is he talking about the other show?
Always tracking, always alerting. Here's your Storm Track 15 weather.
Welcome back to News 15 today. Well, we have kind of seen that pattern behind Adam all morning long, just constantly moving north throughout Acadiana and Louisiana.
We're checking in with him now for the latest. Adam, what do you have for us?
Well, Carter and Alex, we are closely monitoring this line because if you've been following it all day, it's made some great eastward progression until now. It has just stopped, put on the brakes, no more eastward movement to it. And we're actually starting to see a little bit of the rain developing back to the west. Look, if you go down to Iberia Parish, St. Mary Parish, just a little while ago, this was all kind of cleared up. And now that heavy rain line is starting to make its way back to the west. So this could actually reach into Lafayette. And, well, heavy rain on top of saturated soil, you get the picture here. In fact, we were seeing some very heavy rain over Morgan City, still seeing those flood reports coming out of the Bayou Vista area, but the heaviest has shifted back towards Franklin. This is headed up right into New Iberia, and if it carries on this westward track, there's Lafayette. It's not that far away. So we're going to have to keep a very close eye on this. Some very heavy rain reapproaching the I-10 corridor here. Now it's still closed from Lobdell to Henderson. So you're going to have to take 190, but very wet, rainy commute. A few lightning strikes thrown in there too. Some very heavy rain in the Baton Rouge area. North of I-10, you're getting a little bit of a break here. But again, that heavy rain approaching from the south. Now I'm going to show you Lafayette Regional Airport, how much rain we've had so far since midnight. That's a lot. 3.5 inches since midnight. Pretty intense rain, right? Here's the more interesting fact of this. That mostly came in a 2-hour period here in Lafayette between 2 to 4 a.m. You're averaging 1 to 2 inches an hour falling out of this rain, and that's where we run into the problems. Now, the good news is it did progress eastward enough so that we didn't see a whole lot of flooding, but again, we can't, disregard the fact that this line, not that far away, and should it re-intensify and get some stronger storms with it, we could see that flood concern later on today. So that's what we're watching out there. Some sunlight out to the west, where you're seeing some sunshine into the 70s. Rain-cooled air still, though, off to the east where it's been raining. Our Futurecast not doing a good job picking up on that line, but the general consensus is that it should start to kind of weaken here in the coming hours before redeveloping some storms across the area. Now again, is this going to look like this at 1 p.m.? This Futurecast is not representing what's going to happen at 1 p.m. My thinking is that line is going to kind of hang out in this eastern side of Acadiana, and that's where we're going to see the focal point for a lot of these heavy storms. It does show that later on today we kind of get that here rolling through the area, and if we get this training going on where the storms roll over the same areas again and again, flooding quickly will become a concern for us. Temperatures today topping out in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. Tonight, we dip down to around 70 degrees. And looking ahead through the next 7 days, well, we have one more day of tracking these heavy storms and that flood potential before finally drying out for the weekend. But definitely don't, let your guard down quite yet. We'll keep you up to date here on News 15. In the meantime, we'll see you right back after this break. They got fire trucks and shit on the scene.
So I'm confused.
What's going on?
I'm
Is
confused.
Derek talking about 19 and counting? Okay.
What are they doing?
A long time ago. They don't. They go to different high schools. Yeah.
I know, right? Like, did someone die in this?
I used to love that show. She was a psycho biatch.
All the new construction.
She treated that man like garbage.
FedEx.
But he was just, she just berated that poor man. Like, all he was trying to do was help her out half the time. And she would just get, mad because he, didn't cut the sandwiches in the precise,
Whatever happened to Octomom?
I don't know.
Welcome back. Taking a look at what's trending. As more people get vaccinated against the coronavirus, they're having reunions with family and friends, including a certain group of TV friends.
Yes, David Daniel has that and more in the Hollywood Minute.
I remember I went to the producer of the show I was on, and he said, that show's not going to make you a star.
The first full trailer is out for Friends, The Reunion, streaming May 27th on HBO Max. The stars return to the show's familiar sets and reminisce about their remarkable 10-year run.
It was an incredible time. We became best friends.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry now.
I mean, it's huge.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is taking on his first TV project. He'll star in a global spy adventure series for Netflix about a father and daughter who each realize the other has been a CIA operative for years. Schwarzenegger will also serve as an executive producer on the series.
I
I just want my children to know where I come from. I'm planning to go there for the first time since I left in 1944.
The last days looked at 5 Hungarian Holocaust survivors living in the U.S. who returned to their hometowns more than 50 years later. Now, the Oscar-winning documentary, executive produced by Steven Spielberg, has been remastered. It's streaming on Netflix in honor of Jewish American History Month and the USC Shoah Foundation's Stronger Than Hate initiative. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
They took away my identity.
We're closing soon, but just fat. Well, an update to the closure on I-10 westbound. All lanes are open on I-10 west at LA 415 Lobdell. We'll continue updating you on News 15 throughout the day. Adam, over to you.
Just one last look at radar. We are watching as some of these showers and storms start to work their way back to our area. You can see that a tornado warning has just been issued up to the north in the Baton Rouge area. But we'll keep you up to date on that rain here coming up at noon.
Okay, good deal, Adam. Yes, I'm sure we'll continue to check in with you there and online, KDN.com.
Have a great day, KDN. We'll see you tomorrow. Stay dry.
Join us tomorrow on News 15.